Hello, and thank you for coming and spending some time with us here at Sunny Side of Farm. Today I want to go over our meat bird year. We finished processing all our meat birds for the season. We typically do them in the springtime so that we can process them by early summer. We always order 30 meat birds and we get 8 turkeys. This year we did White Rangers. We've done Freedom Rangers in the past. The last 2 years we've done White Rangers, and we found those to be a little bit more efficient. But we did our White Ranger chickens last weekend. We had some help from some friends, which was great. It made the day go by a lot easier and a lot quicker. And we did our broad-breasted white turkeys yesterday and finished getting them into the freezer today. So I wanted to go over how we've done over the last several years, because we've been refining this process and I think we've been getting a little bit better at it. So I wanted to show you what our progress has been. So I'm going to go back 3 years. In 2024, we were actually doing Freedom Rangers at that time. Freedom Rangers typically take 10 to 12 weeks to get to processing weight. The roosters we would do it 10 weeks, the hens we would do it 12 weeks, and that seemed to work out the best for us. So it's a little bit more work. We're moving those birds for an extra few weeks. And it's feeding a little bit more feed, but actually not drastically amount of feed because the White Rangers do eat more. So in 2024, with the 30 Freedom Rangers that we ordered, and typically you get 31 or 32, I think we ended up with about 27 that we got to final processing weight. And with the turkeys, we ended up with our 8 broad-breasted white turkeys. Now, our Freedom Rangers or our White Rangers, we order them locally through Freedom Ranger Hatchery. Our broad-breasted white turkeys, we have mail-ordered them. We did that last year, but that's a little bit more expensive. So we try to get them locally at our local Tractor Supply because that's a little bit of a cost savings for us. So in 2024, that's exactly what we did. We raise our birds all organically. We feed only organic feed, so it's a little bit more expensive, actually quite a bit more expensive, but that's the type of bird we want. So in 2024, when we processed our birds, we ended up with about 27 chickens, and we ended up with the 8 turkeys that we processed. We had roughly about just over 140 pounds of chicken that went into the freezer and 102 pounds of turkey, for a total of almost 245 pounds. Our expenses that year, and our expenses include the shavings. Oh, dog found something to bark at. But our expenses include everything: the cost of the birds, cost of shipping, the shavings, grit, the feed, anything we need, even ice on processing day. So anything we need to get those birds into the freezer. So our cost in 2024 was $1,042. That made our price per pound about $4.26. So not too bad. We ended up with an average weight on the birds of about 5.5 pounds, just under 5.5 pounds, and the turkeys were just under 13 pounds. In 2025, we did things a little bit differently. We needed to raise our birds in the fall. Typically, we do our birds in the spring, and so we can harvest them in early summer, and that way we have the summer free to just concentrate on the gardens and stuff like that. But we had to raise them in the fall in 2025 because we had some obligations in the spring. And we did, at that point, switch to White Rangers because we had a shortened amount of time to get those to processing weight. So we were actually processing those birds at 8 weeks of age. So that saved us a lot of time in moving birds, and it also saved us a little bit on feed. We did have some losses, so we had some problems with the turkeys. We lost some turkeys shortly after they arrived. We ended up replacing some of them locally, so those were extra expenses that we incurred. So in 2025, we ended up with about 150 pounds of chicken that went to the freezer and about 76, 77 pounds of turkey that went to the freezer because we only ended up with 6 turkeys that year. A total of 238 pounds of meat in the freezer. Our average weight on our birds that year was just over 5.5 pounds for the chicken and about almost 12.8 pounds for the bird. So about the same as the prior year. Average cost per pound, $4.22. So pretty similar, even though we had all those extra expenses in 2025. So that led us to believe that those White Rangers were quite a bit more efficient than the Freedom Rangers. Well, this year kind of proved that out for us. So this year we had 0 losses. So every single bird that we got in the mail made it to processing weight, and every single turkey that we bought made it to processing weight. So we ended up with 31 turkeys going in, or 31 chickens rather, going into the freezer, and all 8 turkeys. So our average pound, now we went 1 more week, so we processed our White Rangers. Hey Aussie, what's going on? Just coming over to be in the video. But our average per pound, by going 1 more week on those White Rangers, so that's 9 weeks instead of 8 weeks, we were at about 6 3/4 pounds. So over a pound heavier, which was great. So we were happy with that. So I think we're going to do the White Rangers at 9 weeks from now on. Turkeys we always do it about 14 weeks. Our average per pound on the turkeys was 12.4. We had a total of 285 pounds of meat that went to the freezer, and our cost was $959. So our average price per pound was $3.36 per pound. So that is by far our best and most efficient year. Some of that comes from not having the losses the prior year, but a lot of it is because of those White Rangers, I believe. So we're going to continue to do the White Rangers. We like raising those birds. It's quicker, it's less work for us. And like I said, we get those to processing weight quicker. I think we're going to do 9 weeks because that seems to be a pretty good spot. A 6 1/2, 6 3/4 pound bird is a good sized bird, so we're happy with that. So yeah, I had some friends come over and help us process our meat birds this year, which was great. We showed them how the whole process works, and it made the day go by a lot quicker. So that was great for processing those 31 White Rangers. The turkeys, Deb and I did those ourselves yesterday, and got those in the freezer today. So we are done with meat birds for the year, and we will see you back here next year to see if we can get these numbers even better. But again, thank you for coming and joining us here and spending some time with us on the farm. Next year we should be on the new farm property. Hopefully the next video we'll have an update on the house and the barn. The barn is going up. They're moving right along on that, so we should see some good progress on both of those projects. So yeah, next year we'll be raising our meat birds on the new farm, hopefully. So again, thank you for coming and joining us. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, we certainly would appreciate you subscribing. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. And as always, here on Sunnyside Farm, until next time, hope all your days are sunny side up.